Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, Marcus Stroman and Brian Cashman mend the fences. Of course, Stroman signing here, but then we get a little more color on the whole little back and forth they had a couple of years ago. And again, this was with Marcus Stroman's now, what they do with every player, now a Zoom press conference, which we're just floating into the laziness of, of the work from home life from COVID a couple of years ago. But nevertheless, Stroman with his Zoom press conference. So kind of just dive into that a little bit. Plus, the Yankees make a couple of small ticky-tack moves. And of course, for you fans that just go to the games just to get some Yankee gear, if you love your bobbleheads and your jerseys and your towels and your hats, they announced the schedule of when they give stuff away, so I'll kind of share that with you. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. So if you're listening for the first time or you're a long-time listener, still haven't subscribed, make sure you do that, as well as go over to the YouTube channel, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. There's some content as well. Dropped the latest episode on Wednesday the 17th, so if you missed it, you want to go back. And that was kind of my full breakdown of the Stroman signing and all the backdrop to it, sort of his little history bio, and kind of my reaction to the deal. Again, I think it's a positive one just because it's only a 2-year deal, but nevertheless, you can go back and check that out and subscribe as well. So, we see what the Yankees are doing now, again, just rolling these players out on Zoom press conferences instead of the good old days of having the media room there, and you have all the announcements, and the player puts on the Yankee jersey for the first time, and you have the cameras clicking and flashing, and then of course you have all, the player gives a few words, and then of course they make the rounds on WFAN, ESPN radio, CBS, all the sports, NBC there, and it's like a whole daily event. Now it's just sort of like a 10-minute Zoom conference, which is like kind of eh. And again, it looks like some of these players are like, they just show up in their regular street clothes and they're doing it off their phone or a laptop, and there's like a weird wall behind them or a closet that's like half open. So, you talk about some great Yankee legacies of, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Reggie Jackson, Don Mattingly, even the Giambi and the A-Rod press conferences. And then you got these Zoom meetings. It's really quite a drop off. But nevertheless, obviously it saves time, and you don't want people gathering. Hey, you still have COVID out there, And plus, it's a 2-year deal. Again, if this is Yamamoto, you're definitely getting a press conference in person with all the bells and whistles. 2-year deal for Stroman. We'll do a Zoom. So. I didn't really take away from it. I guess, he kind of dug a little deeper into the whole Cashman-Stroman feud. And then again, I did, mention this on the YouTube episode that, again, what happened back in 2019, the Yankees were potentially looking to trade for Stroman. That's when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays. But Cashman kind of made the statement that we're not going to trade for a guy who's probably just going to be in the bullpen for a postseason. And so Stroman took the exception to that. He kind of fired back and said, other than Garrett Cole, there's no one you would look at in the Yankee rotation that's still going to be in baseball for the next, 5 to 7 years there. So, they kind of been going back and forth a little bit now. Seemed like the whole thing was a misunderstanding. What Cashman's view was that Toronto wanted what he called a king's ransom for Stroman. So Cashman's thought process was, look, I'm not going to give up a boatload of prospects just for a guy who's maybe not going to be in the starting rotation if we get into the postseason. So if that's what he meant, that end, I kind of understand what he means a little bit there. But nevertheless, it looks like both sides have kind of put it aside and they laughed it off, and that's supposedly all behind them. So I guess it's good for them to be moving on there. Again, Stroman ultimately got traded to the Mets. And Stroman's kind of been making the rounds a little bit. He was also at the Knicks game, got on the Jumbotron. He also says, maybe he's misunderstood a little bit. And then he feels once he plays here and fans see, how he really is in person and playing, they'll feel a little different about him. So, again, so far so good, saying all the right things. Good to patch things up with Cashman there. And in addition to not only meeting with Boone, actually, it seems like Boone actually went to his house as they were kind of courting him, and he also had conversations with Rizzo, Judge, Cole, so, got the full welcoming wagon there, trying to bring him along here. So that's what Stroman, so we'll just see how it all works out. Again, it's only a 2-year deal. For that, I think it's okay. Should be all right here. Again, as long as he doesn't, become a headache and getting to fights with fans on Twitter and stuff like that. Hopefully it all works out. Again, I don't think he's intimidated by New York. Obviously, he's a native New Yorker. He's pitched for the Mets. He's pitched for the Cubs. I don't think he'll fold from a big stage. You just got to see if he has 3 or 4 bad starts in a row and the press starts getting on him and starts getting groans from the fans in the audience, in the crowd there. Is he going to start to buckle a little bit? So that remains to be seen. But again, so far, so good. And talking about some other Yankee pitchers, and I kind of mentioned this would happen. Looks like both Carlos Rendon and Nestor Cortez have reported early, to start working out in the Tampa complex. February 14th is when pitchers and catchers have to report, and then full position players on February 20th. But as I mentioned, a lot of times you see players go down there a little bit early, especially situations like Rendon and Nestor, two pitchers that did not have a good 2023 season performance, and mainly health-wise. But Nestor was all health, not really performance. Nestor was really never healthy the whole season. Rendon, he also had some health issues, but also some head issues as well there. So good to see that both of them down there working out. News is actually Rendon is looking good, so knock on wood there. Again, he needs a good bounce back year. And again, the rest of the pitchers and catchers report slowly but surely. But again, don't be surprised if you see some other players start to report down there a little bit early. Now, Cashman also made a move, kind of his Dollar Tree bargain basement moves he's been doing, signing a utility infielder, Jose Rojas, to a minor league deal. So it's $108,000, but if he makes the major league team, it could become a $750,000 contract. But still, other than Stroman, the Yankees really haven't spent too much money on the major league roster. Again, these have all been like minor league deals and pickups and trades and guys off waivers. It's kind of a little tic-tac move. So this guy is 30 years old. He's obviously the reason he's a utility guy, so he could play second, he could play third, he could actually play some right field. So this is, again, Cashman kind of always looking for another Isaiah kind of Falefa. The Yankees already have some guys like this, again, such as Jeter Downs. So again, it seems Cashman's collecting a bunch of these utility type guys to be the next IKF. Hitting wise, not much of that. Now, he spent last season in the Korean League, only hit like 253. And then if you go back his time with the Angels, 2021 and 2022 combined, only hit a whopping .188 there. So not much of the bad. I guess this is a glove guy for Cashman. Going to be a minor league invite. Probably doesn't make the team. Who knows what happens at some point? Maybe gets dropped. But nevertheless, I don't know. Just, again, it's a low-risk guy. You're only paying $180,000, so why not bring him in here? So that's that. So I mentioned at the top, the Yankees announced their full schedule for giving out all the toys. So I'll share that with you. So it looks at on April 20th, we get the Judge 62 home run bobblehead. I guess a year late with that one. May 4th, May the 4th will be with you. They beat the hell out of that to death. That will be the Garrett Cole Star Wars bobblehead. May 17th, you get the quote-unquote hockey jersey. Remember, the Yankees did this last season. I think they had like a Yankee jersey with the Brooklyn Nets colors, and I think the Mets, obviously, since they're yellow and blue, they did it with the Mets colors there. So you got that. That's May 17th. I hate this. July 3rd, fireworks night. It's so low. It's so Bush League. The New York Yankee organization should not be shooting off fireworks to get fans to the stadium. I know it's cool and stuff like that, but that's for like the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's for before the Oakland A's folded. Those are for like the Bush League teams that are desperate to get fans to come to the stadium. Yankee Stadium should not need fireworks night to get fans to the stand. So that's just real lowbrow. That's the game against the Cincinnati Reds. And then a little more love for Garrett Cole on July 19th. That's the Cole Cy Young bobblehead. So this season we'll celebrate the Judge 62 bobblehead, and then you get the Cole Cy Young bobblehead there. This is kind of cute here. August 11th, Volpe Gold Glove bobblehead. And of course, Volpe wearing number 11 on his back. August 11th, haha there. So, that's what they did that one. So 3 bobbleheads going out there. August 24th is the Old Timers Day, which isn't an Old Timers Day anymore. It's basically a giant photo op where just a bunch of people get on the field, take a picture, and then the regular guys play. Again, we want the good old days, or at least the old timers playing at least 3 innings there. Come on. Let's get back to that. And then last but not least, we have August 30th, the football jersey. So, last season was just the basketball jersey. Looks like now this season they're doing the football jersey. You got the hockey jersey. So if you're into that stuff, you like to be the first 10,000, whatever, you're the first online there at 5 o'clock, 5:30 to get in there. You got to get it there early. Again, usually they go out after like 10,000 or something like that. And then from there, you're out of luck, as they say. So that's the news. So Stroman kind of giving his press conference there, all positives, buried the hatchet with the Cashman, and, Carlos Rendon maybe lost a couple of pounds. We'll catch you next time.